What's up YouTube, it's Dakota back with another video. Today going through the challenge and verification, my best trades on the challenge and verification account of the Ftmo 200k challenge or evaluation, and which I passed at the beginning of the year. And I am in the US, so I did purchase the challenge before they stopped accepting US clients in 2024. So fortunately, they gave me the funded account and looking to see if they're actually going to give me the profit split as well once I turn profitable on the funded account. And I will actually get back to you guys on that and tell you. So on the challenge account, we're going to first go over that. Let's look at the metrics. Challenge account, I hit max drawdown of about 1%, 1.5, close to 1.5%. And ultimately had a few trades that led me to target pretty quickly. Took me 6 days to pass the challenge, and the main pair that I traded that got me the profit was Euro NZD, and I took 1, 2, 3, 4 positions on Euro NZD, and they were the 3 ads or what really led to the profit, led to the extra profit, I say. And I'll go ahead and break that trade down. So Euro NZD, let's check out the daily first. On the daily time frame, we have a decent channel on top of a weekly level, and this is my best setup, a decent channel at a weekly level. And sorry, I heard my alert go off. And what I'm looking for is an H1 hourly break of the DCNE channel on the hourly time frame, and around to retest the last high pre-break. So we get that on the hourly time frame, and actually that is the wrong screenshot. That's my personal account. Let's go to this one. So on the funded challenge, I went ahead and added multiple times here. I didn't do that on my personal account. So the entry was an H1 break of the descending channel right here. Then we got a rounded test of the last high pre-break right here. And that's what activated me into the trade. I actually set a limit here. Placed my stop beneath this thrust candle of this minor support resistance level here. And as price developed, I saw it form another setup, right? So I had an impulse here. I had 3-legged flag formation here. So I went ahead and entered on this high volume candle to add to the position. And the only reason I add is because it's on the challenge account and we're looking for high profits, right? So looking for high profits but risking low. On this particular trade, on the initial entry, I do risk 2%, right? Which is high risk for me, right? And the only reason I risk 2% is because it's one of the highest probability setups I have. The second highest probability setup I have, it's 88% probability that it's going to hit this target here. So I go ahead, risk 2% there. And then on the second position, I was a little scared, right? Not gonna lie to you, I was scared. I'm not gonna put another 2% on this position. I did go ahead risk 0.5% on the second position, place my stop at the same area, and then afterwards I actually noticed that I could have had a better limit here if I set my limit at this more defined last high pre-break instead of this minor last high pre-break. It's a last high, minor high on a lower time frame, but this is well defined on the hourly time frame. You see, you got a bullish candle on the left side, and then you got your bears on the right side. It's just well defined. It's easy. It pokes out. It's seen easily, right? And once price got to that level, we got a clear hammer there. So that was a strong signal for me to enter again there and take the position. Again, I only risked 0.5%, so I increased my risk overall to 3% max. So that led me to stay away from some trades as I was going into as I had other setups, right? I kind of stayed away from some setups as I had other setups develop on other pairs. So with risk at max 3%, I'm holding through all this volatility and I see that in expanding triangle form. So there was no reason for me to exit in this position. We kept rejecting the same level, so there was no reason to exit the position. It didn't fail these didn't fell this high. It fell this high initially, but afterwards it didn't. And the only reason I didn't close because of this initial failure is because it has 88% strike rate. So I just let it go. I don't really care what I'm seeing in the market until news comes out. Once news comes out on the setup, because that's the catalyst for the setup, I do pay attention to if price rejects a level. If price made this rejection on a news release, I'd go ahead and close out, but didn't. So as price continued to rise, I adjusted my stop here, and then I added one more time at this once price broke above this high, and tested that level. And I went ahead and closed out at uh, 0.2 R, and that is how I took that trade on the challenge account. That's what led to me passing the challenge account. Now let's go to the verification. Verification, I had deeper drawdown here, and that's really because I had multiple of those CNS setups. Like right off the bat, I had two CNS setups, and they lost. Right, so it was that 12% chance that they lost twice in a row. Right, so um, ended up in drawdown about 6%, close to 6%, but then got a big winner and ultimately canceled all that out and hit the target. Okay, and that was following a lot of losing days. But the two main winners were Aussie CAD and GBP AUD. We're just gonna focus on GBP AUD. Now, I will say I did make a lot of mistakes on GBP AUD, so let's dig into those mistakes and see what I can correct. Default up. On the daily, we have this huge impulsive move. We got a 3-bar, 3-leg correction here, retesting the hourly last high. So, and on the daily, we get this hammer. After that hammer close, which was well after my entry, that gave me extreme confidence to continue to hold this position. But let's go ahead and look at why I actually entered the position. So with that 3-legged formation on the daily time frame, at this last high, this last hourly high, which you can see here, right there, I went ahead, saw a hammer here, and I entered. Right, that was my entry signal. But I actually came late to the chart, or wasn't. I was on time with my schedule, but it was late in seeing the position. So once I came to the chart, the signal had already come, so I had to wait for price to come back down to the level, and I went ahead and enter. And my entry was actually right around this area, right around the close of this candle. And then my stop was still in the same place because this is about a 13R, and I think I only got a 6.9 on this position. But the second position is where I made my mistake, right? On news release, price broke through this resistance level, and I was supposed to, my plan that I wrote out, my plan was to set a limit at this 92.52 level, right? But I went ahead and entered on the news release, which is stupid, right? Because spread increases, it's volatile during that time. It's not really a place where I want to enter, but I was kind of anxious for the setup. Uh, and I just wanted to get in, right? To be honest, I didn't think it would come back, but it came back. It did as planned, and I missed out on some R there. And I believe I also did this on my personal account. I think I did the same exact thing on my personal account. I entered both of them at the same time. Um, but yeah, so gave us some R there, so it could have been a better trade, but nevertheless, still ended up passing the challenge. It hit targets, and it was a good day. That was the verification phase, and that's pretty much it. We can go ahead and check out the funded challenge right now. I'm actually in drawdown on the account about 3.06%, and I'm looking for a price to, well, and I'm working my way out of drawdown essentially, right? So I've just been taking losers. I ended up over trading on Tuesday of last week and took a damage to my account, right? My biggest problem right now within my trading is over trading, especially after a day that I don't trade. Like, cause I'm just trigger happy. I'm like, oh, I finally get to enter a trade. Let's click the button. But need to figure out ways to combat that so that it's not that, so that it doesn't damage my account, so I don't get in the drawdown as easily as I'm getting in the drawdown nowadays. But that's what's currently going on, and I'll make an update video of when I get out of drawdown and get the first payout on the 200K. Now, this isn't my first payout ever. This would be my first payout for this 200K challenge. I actually have multiple accounts, and I've actually failed the challenge as well multiple times before too. So I may make a video on that if I ever feel the need to. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys are looking to pass the challenge, get funded. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you can take some bits and pieces from this video to improve your trading.